FIs times the XI. We're looking for the sum, the total sum of all the FIs times the XI. So for A, I'll have the sum of the FI times the XI, and for B, I'll have the sum of the FI times the XI, and for C, I want to find the sum of the FI times the XI, and I want to add all of those. And that can be done by simply multiplying n times x bar. It's n times x bar is equal to the sum of all the FIs times the XI. So starting with A, if I'm summing, so I'll say n, which is 135, multiplied by x bar, which is 24, plus n 225 times x bar, which is 32, plus n, which is 200 times x bar. In this case, it is x. And what we want to do is we want to divide this by the total number of learners. And the total number of learners is given. It is equal to 560. And this will give us the total x bar, total mean, the mean for all learners. This will give us the mean for all learners. And we are told that the mean for all learners is the same as the mean for learners in C is the same as the mean for all learners. So this is the mean for all learners, and this is the mean for learners in C. So this should be equal to x. So the mean for all learners is equal to the mean for C. We have one equation and one unknown, so we should be able to solve for x. Simplifying, we have 135 times 24 plus 225 times 32, and that gives us 10,440 plus 200x is equal to 560x. If we multiply both sides by 560, we multiply both sides by 550 to get the 510. So the 560, we get the 560x. And what is on the left is just the numerator. So I've added these two values to get the 10440, and I'm also adding this 200x. Grouping like terms, I'll take the 200x to the right, so we have 10,440 is equal to 560 minus 200 is 360x. Therefore, x should be equal to 10,440 divided by 360. And this is equal to 29. So the mean travel time for learners in C is equal to 29. Mean travel time for learners in C is equal to 29. This example is taken from the November 2019 exam paper. Option number 2, we have a survey which was conducted among hundreds of people. So here the number of people is 100. About the amounts that they pay on a monthly basis for their cell phone contracts. The person carrying out the survey calculated the estimated mean to be 309 per month. So we have the mean, which is 309 per month. Unfortunately, we lost some of the data thereafter. The partial results of the survey are shown in the frequency table. So here we have partial results with some missing data. A and B. And the first question is, how many people paid 200 or less on their monthly cell phone contracts? So we look for people who paid 200 and less. Between 0 and 100, people who paid between 0 and 100 are 7, and people who paid between 100 and 200 are 12. So those who have paid less than 200 are 12 plus 7. So we have 12 plus 7 people have paid less than 200, which is equal to 19. So we have 19 people have paid less than 200. You know, when I use the information above to show that the value of A is 24 and the value of B is 16. Now, we know that the sum of the frequency is equal to the total number of people. That is, we know that the sum of the frequency, we know that 7 plus 12 plus A plus 35 plus B plus C 6 is equal to 100. So if we sum the frequency, we should get the number of people. So if we add 7, 12, 35, and 6, we get 60 plus A plus B is equal to 100, which implies that A plus B is equal to 100 minus 60, which is equal to 40. You can call that equation 1. We are also given that the mean is equal to 309. So we need to find the mean for this data. To find the mean, recall that the mean x bar is equal to the sum of the fi times xi divided by n, where n is the population size, or divided by the sum of the frequencies, which is n. So we need to find xi. Xi is, recall that the xi's are the midpoint. So we just look for the midpoints of these intervals. To find the midpoint, we take 100 divided by 100 plus 0 divided by 2 to get 50. If we take 100 plus 300 divided by 2, we have 300 divided by 2, which is equal to 150. 200 plus 300 is 500 divided by 2 is equal to 250. 300 plus 400 is 700 divided by 2 is 350. 400 plus 500 is 900 divided by 2 is equal to 450. 500 plus 600 is 1100 divided by 2 is 550. And these are our xi, which are the midpoints of the interval. And And we're looking for the sum of the fi times the xi. We're looking for the sum of the xi times the fi. So we're multiplying these two values and we adding. Multiplying these values and we adding. So we have x bar is equal to the sum of the fi's times the xi's divided by the sum of the fi's. X bar is given, it is 309, and the sum of the fi's is also given, it is equal to 100. You just need the sum of the fi's times the xi. So we have 50 times 7 plus 150 times 12 plus 250 times a plus 350 times 35 plus 450b plus 550 times 6. And this is all over 100, where the sum of the fi's is equal to 100. So if we multiply both sides by hundreds and add the like terms, we have 30900 is equal to, so we're adding these terms. If we take the product and add, we should get 17700 plus 250a plus 450b. You just need to find a and b. You can call this equation so we have two equations and two unknowns. We need to solve for a and b. Now from this equation, we can take b to the right hand side or a to the right hand side, and that b is 40 minus b. So what I want to do is in equation 2, I want to replace equation 2 with this value, 40 minus b. So we have 309 minus 17,700. If we subtract those two, we should get 13,200. 13,200 is equal to a which is 250, a plus b, 450, 40 minus b. And simplifying, we have 450 times 40, which is equal to 18,000. and we have 250 A minus 450 A. 250A minus 450A is negative 200, so I want to take that to the left hand side. So we have 200A, and we have 18,000 minus 13,200, and that is 4,800, which implies that A is equal to 4,800 divided by 2,000, which is equal to 24. So A is equal to 24. Replacing 24 into this equation, B is equal to 40 minus A, we get B. B is equal to 40 minus A, which is equal to 16. Solving our problem. We have A is equal to 24 and B is equal to 16. For number 2.3, we want to write down the model. We want to write down the model class for the data. We look for the model class. The model class is a class with the largest frequency. So here A is 24, B is 16. So the class with the largest frequency is this class, X line between 300 and 400. So we have 300 X less than equal to 400 would be our model class. On the grid provided in the answer book, we want to draw an ogive to represent the data. Recall that if we want to draw the ogive, we have to look at the upper class. We're looking at the upper class, and we need the cumulative frequency for the y values. Here we have the x values and we have the y values. So for the y values, we need the cumulative frequency. So this constructs a cumulative frequency table. It would be easier if we construct it somewhere like there. So we have the lower value or lower frequency, which is 7. So we want to take 7 plus 12. 7 plus 12 is equal to 19. And we take 19, we add 24 to get 43. We take 43, we add 35 to get 78. We take 78, we add 16 to get 94. We take 94, we add 6, we should get the total number of people after adding the last 10. We should get the total. Here we get hundreds. If we are not getting hundreds, then there must be something wrong. We must have done something wrong. We should always get the total at the end. So whenever x is hundreds, y is 7. Whenever x is 200, y is 19. Whenever x is 300, y is 43. Whenever x is 400, y is 78. Whenever x is 500, y is 94. Whenever x is 600, y is equal to 100. And this is our object. We need to just sketch at this point, and these are the x values, and these are the y values. I've already sketched the ogive. So here we have our ogive. Whenever x is 100, y is 7, which is slightly less than 10. Whenever x is 200, y is 19, slightly below 20. Whenever y is 300, sorry, x is 300, y is x equal to 300, y is 43, 28, 94, 43, 78, 94, and then here we have 100. So this is our ogive curve. For this session, we'll be looking at question number 3 and 4 of paper 2. Number 3 and 4 is usually analytical geometry. This paper is taken from the 2016 KZN paper. Then the diagram below, PQRS is a parallelogram. The vertices P and S lie on the y-axis. The side QR is produced to its own length to T. QR is equal to RT. The point Q, which is 35, and point S with x equal to 0 and y equal to 2, and the length of PS is equal to 2 units. The line segment PT intersect SR at W. PW is equal to WT. So PW is equal to WT. We are required to determine the coordinates of the following points: point P, point R, point C, and point W. Now, we are given that PS is equal to 2 units. That is, the distance from P to S is 2 units. So this distance is 2 units. That is given. So to find P, all we need to do is add the distance OS and the distance SP. That will give us the coordinates of P. So the coordinates of P, we just need to add the distance from 0 to 2, which is 2 units, and the length of PS, which is 2 units, to get 4. So if we add these two, we get the coordinates of P. P is the point when x is 0 and y will be equal to 2 plus 2, which is 4. This is 1.1.1. Now for 1.1.2, we're looking for R. Now we're given that PQRS is a parallelogram. That implies that PO is parallel to QT. If that is the case, if these two lines are parallel, that implies that the X value of R is the same as the Q value of the X value of Q. The X value of R should be the same as the X value of Q. This is a vertical line which is parallel to the y-axis. So for Q, we have the X value which is 3 units. So we're just looking for the Y value. Now to find the Y value, we know that PS is equal to 2 units. Again, for the same reason, since this is a parallelogram, QR should also be 2 units. If QR is 2 units, then the Y value of R is the Y value of Q minus 2. The Y value of R would be the Y value of Q minus 2. So it is 5 minus 2, which is equal to 3. Since the distance from this point to this point is 2 units. So to get this length, all we need to do is take the 5 units length minus the 2 units. That will give us the distance from the x-axis to R, which is 3. And for 1.1.3, we are required to find a T. That is the coordinate of T. Again, since this line QT is parallel to PO, the X value of T should be exactly the same as the X value of R, which should be exactly the same as the X value of Q. So the X value of T should also be 3. So we just need to find the Y value of T. Now, QR, we said was 2 units. And RT is the same as QR, so it should also be 2 units. So to find the Y value of T, we need to take these two values, 2 plus 2. If we add them and subtract 5, we should have the remaining piece. So the Y value of T would be equal to 5 minus 2 minus 2. 5 minus 2 minus 2 is equal to 1. So the Y value of T, we know that these two sides are equal. So we're adding 2 plus 2, and it's taking 5 minus 2 plus